Namaste. For Anjaneyasana, Crescent Lunge, you would like to have a couple of tools to support you here in this space. For starters, you're going to want to have blocks, and I would place them at the top of your mat. You'll also utilize a blanket, a towel, or a comfortable cushion to place underneath your knees, just for some added support. We will go through some variations of Anjaneyasana, and I will explain the chair version in a separate series. So let's begin. We begin on our knees, hands and feet position known as a table. We'll take the right foot forward, and if your right foot is very close to the body, then take your foot forward enough so it would be between your hands on the ground. Now, maybe this is a little difficult, so this is where those blocks come in. Use the blocks and bring the earth to you. Another variation is to keep the hands on the thigh. Your left knee is down and it's right underneath your hip or slightly behind it, and the front foot is pressed active into the mat and the toes are point forward. So you're creating the number 1. And the knee is going to be in the direction of over the ankle. From this space, it's very similar to what we would call a high lunge, and we would sustain here for 5 breaths. You're gonna notice some sensation in the right hip flexor. So if that's the case, simply draw the right hip back and draw the left hip forward a little bit more. Encourage the student to inhale and exhale through the belly area, specifically utilizing Dirga and or Ujjayi breath. As your lower belly draws up and in, you're going to notice some more space is being created between the lower belly and the thigh. This will help to support you as you begin to reach up into the pose. Ultimately, the arms are going to start to come up in the direction of the sky. If you remember back in the Virabhadrasana 1 video, we utilized the block and we held the block to rotate the shoulders back and down and push into that block so that we're lifting up through the upper torso and we're drawing the scapula towards each other to reach the arms back. So you're broadening through the chest. Now from here in this particular pose, it is a psoas stretch, which is the muscle that connects from the upper body to the lower body in layman terms. And so we come forward a little bit to get a nice stretch, and you should probably feel it. Ooh. Now, lift the elbows up and look up, but do not, or at least resist the urge, to keep those ribs from swaying. And your gaze will start to look up. If this is a little too intense for the practitioner or for yourself, then bring yourself back to center space, working in the direction of lifting the arms by sustaining where you are. The second variation of the pose is tuck the toes and lengthen through the back leg. Arms will be up and you can lift and press the chest higher. As you reach back, continue to draw the lower ribs in and melt the hips forward and knee track over ankle. Sustain for 3 to 5 breaths, release, and lower the hands down. From that space, return to the table or any variation of transition, resting pose. Again, you can utilize the back of a chair to support you if you needed to really significantly bring the earth up. Another option, as we've been talking about, is utilizing the wall. So if you had the wall, and let's say that right foot is now touching the baseboard of the wall, which would be the front edge of my mat for this example. And then from this space, let me draw my knee forward as I would be modifying it. I would have the wall and my knee meeting with the block's assistance. Hands to the wall or forearms to the wall, and utilizing the forearms to press the shoulders away from the ears and look up. Creating the same expression and shape and modification safely for a practitioner that may need a little bit more support. I will include that in the chair yoga video. Thank you. I hope this helps you. Namaste.